Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sandeep Rao. I'm the CEO of OneSource, both the forum and the consultancy. And I have been asked today to preach to the choir about the power of the importance of goodwill. And the reason that I've been asked to speak on the subject is because I've spent the last 6 years of my life creating a forum, a network, a platform, call it what you will, an industry body, call it literally what you will, which brings together about 12,500 people across the globe, from the corporate communication, marketing, digital industries as a whole, which brings together CXOs who focus on helping each other. And the reason it falls under the purview of goodwill is because nobody charges a penny, right? So over the last 6 years, for example, we have helped place close to about 1,000 people, whether those be journalists, whether those be corporate communication professionals, public relations professionals, CXOs. We've helped get them jobs. We've helped do 2 lakh plus stories over the last 6 years. Right, that's as many stories as a small agency would typically, a small to mid-sized public relations firm would typically do in, say, about a year or so. Right, and we've done all of it pro bono. Right. Uh, the reason I agreed to speak on the power of goodwill is because it's an extremely important tool, which sometimes gets missed out on in the humdrum of daily life, right? The typical communication consultant, and I'll stick with the audience of Spectra here, the typical communication consultant of today works across paid, earned, shared, owned media, which means that while having conversations regarding while having conversations regarding a brand with a journalist, then being able to provide liaise for interviews, then provide collateral that doesn't turn out to be too marketing focused, we often get very caught up in the operations of things, and we manage to very completely miss out on the softer human aspect of things. So allow me to share with you a little story. About 6 years ago, this is on the 22nd of July in 2014, that's 6.5 years ago, I had this tendency of sharing mobile numbers of, whether it be journalists or whether it be CXOs, with a lot of friends who required it, right? And it was completely pro bono. All of us do it, so there's nothing wrong with that. And my brother, who is my co-founder, or rather the founder for the forum, walked up to me and said, you share the same journalist, the same editor's number thrice in a day, and you're wasting time. Why don't you just create, there's this new app called WhatsApp. It allows 50 members to a group. Why don't you just add the top 30 people onto one WhatsApp group and share the number there, so that when you share it for one person, everybody gets it, right? And that's how the forum, the network, started. And the idea was India, and I speak about the India market here. The India market was traditionally, the mindset was my number, my contact list, my media list, my network. I'm not going to share it. And I found it ridiculous, simply because for those of you, in fact, everybody across the globe will know this gentleman because he is the richest Indian and among the richest Asians. I may have Mukesh Bhai's number now, and I may know Mukesh Bhai, but Mukesh Bhai doesn't know me, which means just because I have his number doesn't mean I have an existing relationship with him. So there is no reason for me not to share somebody's contact or not to share insights about how to connect with someone, what the nature of an individual is. And I decided that seemed like a good idea, right? Putting people together where UGC became the heart of it. It wasn't a case of Sandeep has to share contacts or Sandeep has to share knowledge, information, insights, etc. Everybody can contribute. The forum, and it's pretty synonymous with the Indian PR industry, which I'm thankful to all our members for, started with 30 people on one WhatsApp group at a point of time when even WhatsApp had only 50 people to a group. Right. Today, WhatsApp has 257 people to a group, and we've got close to about 50 groups and 12,500 members who share. That's all they do. They share, right? And as admin, we get a lot of messages uh, saying we're really thankful to you. Just day before yesterday, the corporate communication head of a leading edtech startup has moved on, and allow me not to take a name here, and is moving to Belgium, right? And she's pursuing her own interests. And she just dropped me a message saying, Sandeep, OneSource, the network, the goodwill that it created, the amount that it helped my career over the last 6 years is something that I cannot even begin to thank you for. And my answer to her was, I didn't help. Admin did not help. The members helped. At the end of the day, UGC is the user generated content, is the best kind of content, right? Because it takes the onus away from the administrator, the manager, it basically takes the onus away from everyone, but creates something that is beautiful. It creates goodwill. Today, the Indian PR industry, the Indian corporate communication industry knows for a fact that whether it be reaching out to the editor of a leading pink paper, whether it be reaching out to the marketing head of a leading, say, a leading PSU, they know for a fact that if they reach out to the community at large on the forum, they will get help. And the point is that when they get help, they in turn, human beings are a strange variety of people. So when we get help, we feel good, because let's be honest, the way the world is right now, most of us don't expect others to help us without some form of quid pro quo. So when people end up helping us without any demand or ask for getting something in exchange, it's very pleasantly surprising. It builds the spirit of goodwill, of giving back. And that's something that is lovely, because like I said, there's enough messages that we've received saying we never thought we'd get this kind of help. We cracked a front page Times of India story, never thought that would happen. We did a lovely story with the Wall Street Journal, you helped us connect with them. What do we get out of it? We get nothing out of it, right? And I'm giving the example of admin simply because the admin is an everyday woman or man going about their job, doing this on the side because they like giving back. So the one bit of advice that I'd like to give everybody, if we took the admin of a pro bono give back forum to be anybody else under the sun, if we took that, then the one bit of advice that I would give to our audience is, let's not just tell our clientele and our brands to create goodwill, right? Charity literally begins at home. I work with OneSource. If I do not give back to 30 others, I cannot advise my clientele, I cannot advise my people to give back. It needs to begin at home. It needs to begin with each of us. And here I'm going to pilfer a line, though I'm not going to name the brand behind it. All of us know which one it is. If we take the opportunity to for each one to teach one, the power of goodwill, right? As an industry, we have the power to make a change. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to hear me out today.